Going into the game and with our prep for 2 days, I knew this team would present a challenge. We saw 3 different opponents, 3 different styles of play in the last 3 games. So, SMU wore us out in the full court, wore us out with physicality in the half court. Virginia presented their challenges in terms of their half court offense and their blockers and movers, and this was another challenge in itself to try to prepare for. And I think Coach Davenport, he did a heck of a job and understood where our weaknesses were and really went to exploit that in terms of pushing the pace and really making us guard the duration of those possessions. And position that we're in with the shorthanded roster, it makes it really hard, and I could feel the fatigue with our guys, and I told them going into it, it's going to be a long night if we can't finish possessions. And when they end up with 14 more field goal attempts than us, and they got 12 offensive rebounds, so those are killers when you play a team like that. You guard for 30, and then you got to guard for another 20, and then you come down on offense, and regardless of the result on the defensive end, your offense just doesn't have that spark. You're fatigued, and he did a heck of a job pushing the pace and making us guard for 30 and sometimes 50. So credit to them and credit to their preparation, and Coach Davenport's a great coach and great man, and Bellarmine came in here to play, and they were hungry and took it to us. So at the end of the day, it's a win, but we got to figure out how we learn from it and grow and turn the page and figure out St. John's on Friday.
Questions, please. You've discussed a lot of preparing in different ways, with film study, with review, things that aren't as taxing physically. But at some level, is there a certain amount of run through and up and down and everything like that you have to do to be adequately prepared?
Yeah, you have to. And I said on the radio earlier, as a coach, you feel it. We had travel issues coming back from Florida, so I didn't get in my bed till 4 in the morning on Wednesday or Thursday morning, I guess, and so we had Thursday off, Thanksgiving off, and we had a nice team meal and did some bowling and whatnot, and then I told them to get their rest, and Friday, Thursday didn't really feel like an off day for them. It didn't feel like it for me. It was such a quick turn, and Friday we're practicing at noon, and we didn't get 2 consistent practices. We had a kind of a slow start to Friday's practice, and we finished strong, and then it flip-flopped the next day yesterday. So we started strong, and then it tailed off. And, I told those guys and had a heart-to-heart, it's like we're going to have a consistent approach to practice and preparation so we can be more efficient because I really did feel the fatigue setting in there in that game, and I felt it going into shoot-around, so I even shortened shoot-around up to try to, be as, efficient as possible with them. And I may have pushed it a little harder than I probably should have on Friday and Saturday, but sometimes you don't feel that, especially when you got fresh guys out there like Noah Farrakhan and Kirk Reza and Raekwon Battle out there practicing. They look great. They look fresh. And so I got to be mindful of who's playing and how to be more efficient with them.
Coach, I think this was Offrey's third game he's started. Can you just, one of his better games, obviously, tonight. Can you just kind of talk about, he's a kid that comes in over the summer and didn't probably really expect for this to be his role, and so a lot of things are kind of getting thrown at him, and how he's kind of grown through all of that.
He made some mental mistakes there and forced to action a couple of times. So he wasn't exactly perfect tonight by any means, but he hit a big shot for us down the stretch. And for a team that's struggling to put the ball in the hole from the perimeter, that was as critical as any shot in the game. And we were 3 for 16, and I want guys to take good shots, but we got to be really good about figuring out what a good shot is and what a bad shot is. When you guard for 50 seconds and you got Seth coming down all eager take one at the top of the key, that's not a good shot. But he turned down some really good ones. And I'm not trying to kill their confidence. I want those guys to play their role and shoot the ball, but they got to take it out of the offense and take good shots and efficient shots to where, we can control the pace of the game by making them guard. And you could tell by our offensive rebounding numbers, and, we didn't take all that good of shots. It's a lot easier to offensive rebound when you're playing out of your offense and you're getting shots out of your offense and people are in the right position. So 7 offensive rebounds against this team on 30 missed shots, that's not it. We got to be way better than that, and that has a lot to do with our shot selection.
Do you find yourself kind of pre-planning when you want to take timeouts in the game because of how short the bench is, and then sometimes you have to alter that with, a run that's happening for you or against you? Or do you kind of wait to feel how the game's going to take
I
place?
wait to feel it out. I mean, Q took the one in the first half, which was a smart one. I was about to do the same thing, and I'm okay with them having that freedom. They feel that exhaustion. I'm okay with them taking a timeout because we probably we had plenty down the stretch, but I really do have to think strategically in terms of making sure we're fresh out there. I certainly don't want to take one when the next dead ball is going to send it to media and you basically kill a timeout. So it's something I think about, but you're also feeling out the pace of the game, the feel of the game, whether we got mismatches on the floor that we can take advantage of. So there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of variables. So yeah, but I can examine that, and I do. I try to figure out what's the best time and place to take some of these and keep as fresh as possible.
Josiah's struggling to score a little bit. How do you get more out of him? And I mean, is he taking okay shots in terms of you mentioned?
Well, the problem with it, I think he's taking good threes, and they're going to fall. We as a coaching staff, we went through a lot of sets and shoot around, and I think he was 10 for 10. I really do. He was making every shot. So I don't know what flipped the switch, when came game time, but I told him, you guys got to get out of your own head and keep repping those shots because we're going to need you to make them. We're going to need you to step into them with confidence and make them. So he's going to have a breakout game sooner than later, and I have full faith in Josiah and what he brings to the table, and so I'm not worried about that. But I'd certainly like to see more fall than have. He's struggled a few games, but still have a high belief in him. 100% have a high belief in him, and I want him to take good shots. Probably my biggest gripe with JoJo is sometimes he'll take it to the rim and he's not playing with confidence even when he's driving it. When he's driving it, he's got to really get his head up on the rim and finish, high and strong.
Josh, you've discussed the support you and the program are trying to provide to Raekwon. Same kind of thing for Ofri? Any differences in that approach? Is it just as simple as, hey, we're here for you, or are there specific things you're doing?
No, I mean, there isn't a whole lot you can do specifically. I mean, you check on them and touch base with them as much as you can, like how are things at home. I think when people know that you care, and we truly do care about our players, they're very receptive. So Ofri really likes it here, and he's in a good spot. No, we certainly have a lot of guys with some challenging, backgrounds and families and situations, and Ofri's no different than Raekwon, and I need them to feel like they're loved and supported, and they are loved and supported, and so no, those guys have a lot on their mind, a lot going on. It's part of being a team and coming together each and every day, and I think even the locker room, those guys are close and take care of one another, and that can't make me happier.
That was kind of my second question. Do you think that can kind of help? One guy sees another guy that says, hey, you've got something similar to me, you're going through this, and they know that, hey, if I feel this way, I can help you feel better about it.
Specifically to Raekwon, I mean, Raekwon, he thrives on hope. He thrives on optimism, and it's a shame that he's getting the treatment he's getting, because I would have thought, and I've said it over and over in the media, I think it's a no-brainer for Raekwon to get immediate eligibility. But what they're seeing that we're not, and I just feel like in a lot of ways they're moving the goalposts on us, and it's a shame, because Raekwon deserves to be playing basketball, and he deserves to be with his team. And I certainly feel for Raekwon if he loses that hope and loses that optimism, where he goes from there with his mental state. And I can do everything I can. I will do everything I can to keep his head held high, but that ain't easy. What he's going through right now. It ain't easy on our team. It ain't easy in that locker room, because we feed off each other's emotion. And if a guy that's as positive and optimistic as he is starts hanging his head, that's going to start affecting everybody in that locker room.
How much will making a few threes help take the pressure off Jesse?
Yeah, I mean.
Other than 0 for you were like 1 for 13 and from 3-point.
Yeah, I mean this should take a lot of pressure off of him. Teams are going to look at the numbers. They're going to start scouting us even and bringing even. They might even start sending triple teams down if we can't make a shot. So they're going to throw as many bodies as we can at those guys and down low, and it can't be Quinn and Jesse our only scoring threats. We got to have a balanced attack, and that's where I talked on the radio show. Kobe, I need to probably utilize him more with his size and strength, with a lot of mismatches that we have with him. But those guys around him got to figure out how to get some more production out of them, and that can be a flip of a switch, because they're all capable.
Hey Josh, in practice, Kerr will be back soon. When do you ease him in? Do you have him doing anything with your ones, I guess, so far? And then the phone may ring one day and Raekwon may be available. Who knows, right? That's the hope. Do you do anything with him in practice just in case that does happen?
Well, I haven't really put those guys on first team much. They've been pretty much scout team at this point. But I have put a lot of thought into it. I know Raekwon, and his understanding of everything we're doing, they have a high understanding. He has a high understanding. Kerr has a high understanding. They're staying very much engaged. So I don't think that it'll be one issue transition them into the rotation we have. But we just, for now, we have to have a narrow focus as to making this team gel with the guys we have on the floor.
And then guys on your bench, I guess just specifically two, Pat and Jeremiah. If you can't practice a whole lot, that just naturally just kind of slows their transition development. Do you do anything on the side with them? Do you have them do extra stuff just so they can get some more in the event that you do need that?
Yeah, they get a lot of reps in practice. Jeremiah, he's been hampered with some injury, so he probably could have run him out there against Virginia, but wasn't probably the best game for him to run him out there. So he was hampered with an injury and didn't practice 2-3 days in a row. And for a freshman to go out there against some of those guys, especially the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, with a hampering injury, is probably not the right move on my part. So I got to put those guys in a position to be successful. Now Pat gave us 6 minutes. He was a -5 out there, but Pat's given us some solid contributions, and he's the one I really look to if we're going to get some more minutes off the bench. He's going to have to step up and give us that. And I believe in Pat, and I probably just need to give him a little more opportunity to do so.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.